So, namaste everyone. Yeah, before we start, just quick introduction of our today's speaker. And on behalf of the Professional Skill and Enrichment Committee, ICI, welcome all the participants in today's webcast, Thinking Outside the Box, Tool for Breakthrough Ideas. I welcome to today's resource person, CA Kushal Mishra, and others present in this webinar. So, a quick introduction of the renowned speaker, CA Kushal Mishra. He is a chartered accountant and he is enriched with 14 years of experience in advisory, spanning finance, financial modeling, IT control, and lot many other things as well. So, in addition to his experience in financial modeling, IT control, testing, financial reporting control framework, that is FRCF, and transactional advisory, he is very expert in this area as well. He currently advises the India's Global Capacity Center, that is GCC, of a UK-based insurer supporting finance and GRC functions while incubating process transitions using a build, operate, transfer model, that is BOT model. So certified by ICI in the forensic accounting and fraud detection and empaneled with India's Ministry of Corporate Affairs, that is MCA, as an independent director, Kushal blends technical rigor with business pragmatism to design, control, accelerate value realization, and scale the operations. A certified faculty by ICI orientation and GMCS programs, he has helped shape the next generation of CAs through practical and outcome-focused training. So let's welcome CA Kushal. Warm welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dipali, ma'am. I would like to first extend my thankfulness to Sambit sir, who has found me to speak on a topic. So, am I also supposed to share the PPT, right? So, I'll just quickly share my screen and
Yes.
without wasting further time, let me get back into the topic uh, of which institute gave me. So I just want to first deliberate quickly on the topic heading itself, which says thinking outside the box, and the subtitle is tool for breakthrough ideas. I just want everyone to first think on the title itself, because today we are here just to give a different dimension to our thinking. So for the next 2 hours, I would uh, request everyone to be more creative, to be more open, to be more independent in their thinking approach. And I just want to break this title first. That whether this sounds you good, thinking outside the box, whether it helps or it's just a statement to make you push to do something different. So what I believe, think while reading this line is, it's just yet another line which could help you, to boost your morale. And I would request everyone to, before thinking outside, start thinking within yourself, or start thinking within the parameters, within the boundary where you are sitting, because the problem is not outside, the problem is within us and where we stand. So there's no point thinking outside. Now, from where this sentence might be coming, or might be, originated from, I think that it is originated with the outcome of your thinking, not the way you think, right? So the outcome which you have thought, maybe it would have created such a value that it was well beyond the thinking pattern of anyone who could have thought that way. And the value which has been derived by your solution is something out of the box. And that's why we are saying that think out of the box, or outside the box. I would say think within the parameters, so that you can get an outstanding outcome which can be of more value, which is beyond anyone expectations. This is what, from where I want to set the tone of this session with, that we are not supposed to think outside, because most of the problem, or all, I would say almost every problem, is ourself, belongs to us. and it lies within the parameters where we are. I'm not saying that every problem always is due to us. It could be a problem where we stand. There is no point going crossing the parameters outside from where that problem basically belongs. We should think within that boundary. Outcome could be something which is well beyond the imagination, that could be outside our thinking, what parameters could be. So let us begin. I want everyone, if everyone can see this picture. This is the day one. I want everyone to spend some time looking at this picture and suggest, if I think we have got a chat box. If you can suggest something, that what you think when you, or what comes in your mind when you see this picture. Dipali ma'am, you can also participate if you are online. So if
Yeah, sure.
what you, everyone thinks when you see this picture. So this is a day one. I've got one more. So think, just have a view of this particular image. See every object, what is lying there, and just frame something in your mind. What the thing which comes first to you. Okay. And if you can reply using chat, whatever your thoughts are. And now I'm going to the another image. Previous image was day one, and now it is day two. Again, you see, just think, use your imaginations, use your visualizations, whatever the thing which you can right now, think what this image may suggest to you. So this was, previous was day one, and next is day two. So I'm not playing any game which should where you should find some differences of the picture. I would first like to give a disclaimer: these are both the same pictures. What the only difference is day one and day two. So it's all about the perception. It's all about the way we see any of the parameters. Now this picture is basically just explaining or portraying. Basically, there's a bike rental shop. Bike means bicycle. This is closed because it is raining. There is a traffic jam and one person standing here. This is what basically this picture means. And if I would say that this particular scenario is basically a generating point of a 1 billion worth company, whether it make a sense. This particular scenario gave a thought to a person whose name was David Friedberg, and he uses this particular theme to create a industry, to create a company which was worth 1 billion. Okay, so this is where I just want everyone to be grounded with the thought process, that how we are going to be, or we should be thinking in next 1.5 hour or 2 hours, basically whatever the time is allotted. So just see, I'll just take you through the next level where I just want to make everyone understand. This was something related to the Climate Corporation company, where the David Friedberg, he was basically a Google employee in 2004. While coming back home in one of the rainy season, he saw a bike rental company, shop basically. It was closed. All the bikes were just standing stranded. There was no one who was to pick that bike and use it. Now, first thing, when he was in bus, he thought, okay, if I would have a bike or a bicycle, I would have reached home easily. This was his first thought. The second thought, now it's raining, so I would have gone. So he's stuck in the traffic jam on a day one. Again, on a day two, he had a similar picture. And then he thought, okay, now that story or that scenario stemmed an idea. And the idea was, why we can't do something for them? What are the issue they are having? So that bike rental shop is closed. He may be losing on a money. He may be losing on a revenue. What we can do for it? And this is the basically a grounded idea or a grounding idea to create a company. Now, which company he found? He just thought, he gave an idea. What is the issue? He tried to figure out the problem, right? He was a Google employee. He was previously an investment banker. He just tried and collaborated with people right? And then he thought which are the other businesses also which are getting impacted by weather, like rains, something else. And then he proposed everyone that collaborated team, why don't we come with the insurance company which would give or cater the need of this losses for the people. And then he founded the Weather Bill. First company which he founded was a Weather Bill. And then he founded a climate corporation and he sold Weather Bill for $1 billion. Now, this is the story of a climate corporation, how this was done. So, the topic which we are going to talk today is basically design thinking, and as a tool, how it could actually help us aid our decision making process. So, first, I would just give the theme of design thinking, the you know the basics, the theory, and then we will discuss all the case studies which we have in the practical era, and most of the companies are using it. Do you know, I just want to throw further more grounding questions to everyone and think thought process. Do you know what Suzuki was doing before they were in automobile? So Suzuki was basically a cloth manufacturing company till 1930, and post World War II they entered into the automobile industry. We already know that Lamborghini was a tractor manufacturing company before they are into the cars. The Samsung was a grocery store before they have started manufacturing mobiles. LG was a hygiene product manufacturing company basically, and now we know what LG is. Now we have got a bigger one which is coming is IKEA was a paint manufacturing unit, and then they are into the furnitures. Apple was on the verge of bankruptcy before Steve Jobs came, revived everything. Now what these company did basically, what they have done, they have just changed the way they were doing. They have just changed way they were thinking. They changed the way that they were targeting their customers. They basically changed the way, the style they were working on. So they did use, so I'll just give out some brief introduction of what design thinking came from. Design thinking is not a new concept. It's an old 1800, I think it was found in 1800 century with in Germany and in Russia, where they were using this technique, but bit abruptly, not in a very organized form. And later on with the in the Stanford University, and later on they conceptualized this concept as one of the major uh, you know turning stone for the company. They did various experiment, and then they coined this concept as design thinking. We have got lots of other examples where it has been used. Like Starbucks was not a coffee shop basically. It was started as a company that used to sell coffee beans and the espresso machines. The YouTube was a dating website. Do you believe? Yes, it was a dating website before it became the best video platform. So this is what I just want everyone to have this thought back at the back of your mind before we delve into the actual design thinking process. Before even going there, I would like everyone to take through the basics that human design is a human centered approach where the people we think about the humans, we think the human, we keep human into the center, and then we resolve, and then we think about the solutions. So it is an iterative process, but the very important is it's a collaborative process. It's not a one person process. And before you getting into the topic, I would like to give a few mindsets pointers which you should have when you are just going with me to this topic. Is first, when we are talking about a human design thing, every person who is into this human design stuff, the mindset he should have, which would aid in understanding the topic, is he should first accept the complexity, right? Whatever the complexity we have, whatever the problem which we are looking a solution for, they should first accept that complexity. Do not resist with that. Do not fight with that. Just accept it. It will help you solving that. Always focus on the people for whom you are solving your problem. Always focus on their need. Visualize the outcome and then start prototyping. Show the people how what you're building. Experiment a lot so that you could fail early and you could come up with a good solution. And you should always have a collaborative and a networking mindset with you, right? Okay, as we all are chartered accountants here, we think, okay, this is a lot of stuffs. What exactly this human design means? So the human design is nothing but a human centered iterative approach for a problem solving thing that focus and understand the user needs, challenge the assumptions which is already prevailing, create an innovative solution through the collaboration and the experimentation. Okay, so this is the iterative approach which we are already seen discussed. The more important for stuff here is this is a human centric approach, that it start with the empathy with the end users who are basically the person who is getting hit with the process, the solution you're looking for. It's a iterative process where the solution could be evolving. It could be evolving solution. It cannot be, you cannot say that, okay, this is what we thought, this is what we are bringing. This could be coming like a iteration, that the like so many iPhones, the series which you are having, this is what the iteration. It was started with Steve Jobs from my iPhone 5, 6, 7, 6x, lot of now till 17 Pro. Now it's a collaborative process where we collaborate with different teams, different people. I would just like to be make this process more interesting, more understandable. Say, like we are a chartered accountant, and we are most of the people who are into the practice. They are correct. They are will feel that they should be more organized. They should be more innovative. They should be more techno savvy. Now, how they could be? We are the finance people, and how we can cater our needs. So we think that there should be office management stuff. The people should start working systematically. The client should also work with the system. But how they will be? If we have a limitation that we are not a technical people, what we have is our brain. What we have is our ideas. What we have is our people who could support the system. So yes, collaboration is the important point. If we want to improve our working style also, we need to collaborate with the technology people who could save our time, efforts, and can be more and make us more effective, and implement our ideas more efficiently basically. So yes, collaboration is needed. So normally what the company do, they collaborate with a lot of departments, they collaborate with a lot of functions across the company to give you a better product. Now, for since it is human centered approach and you're creating values, you need to be creative. People in most of the ideas, like they like something different, they gets bored. So you need to come up with the creative ideas. So this is what the grounding aspect of human centered approach of design thinking is. Let's first understand what are the five the process which should be looking into the overall life cycle of the design thinking. First, we will just understand what the empathizing means. Then we'll go for how we should define the problem. Now it's ideate, that how we should be ideating the solution, how we will be preparing the prototype, and how we'll be testing. So I understand that we need to first ground ourselves with the theory, and then we'll go to the practical case studies. But we will be just sticking to the design thinking approach today. Now, the next way is I would like to start this topic with the thing that what is the IBM way? So IBM works on the principle that good design is a good business. Now, if you can design something good for the users, that will automatically generate business for you. You are not supposed to think something differently. You just need to be empathetic with the people, empathize with the people, understand their needs, give them a better solution so that they connect you well. So IBM has developed the culture, their own culture, with a design thinking way. So IBM is basically a 115-year-old information technology company with a vision that they should all the people, all the person in, working in IBM, they have trained with this principle. So they have trained 3,77,000 employees on the design thinking principle, that how they should be thinking, whatever they should be building, they should always think from the customer centric point of view. The company believes that to be more strategic, and they shifted from their inner, you know, from the technically delivery point of view to be. I just want to make it more simple, that they just deviated from features first to the user first mentality. What my user want, how my user want, how my I would create something which would more be liked by my user. So their board of directors and directors says, now this shift allowed them to solve the real life problem for the people, that instead of building features, they built what user need. So they have done the staff training. They have hired two-thirds of the designer in their team so that they can be designing a better solution. So what they basically worked on is they worked on the empathy. They created their ability to understand the other feelings, and their mantra for the group was trying to connect better with the people, colleagues, and the client. They learned the rapid prototyping, the team's dynamic about the problem solving, how to tap their customers, colleagues, and how they can feel their end user more comfortable and solve their concerns. So they have got this iterative approach of that observe, reflect, and make it, right. So this is, I call it the IBM way. Now again, so what the principle they believe is, the good design is a good business, right. Now I'd move to the theoretical part of this whole theory of design thinking. I would just try to cover as quick as possible so that we can understand and connect with the live example, how the real life company which we deal with in the day to day life has basically implemented it. Now first is, as we have gone through the circle, the first thing comes is empathy. So we know what empathy means. So empathy is the centerpiece of a human centered design process. And the empathize mode means is to work, that you need to work to understand your people within the context of your design challenge. Now whatever we are going to uh, talk here, let us think that we have been given with that problem and we need to find a solution. And I think in a start of this month, I took this session with in Pune, where I had the deliberation with the practicing chartered accountants, that what is your problem, right? What are your problem? And I actually worked with them. Right now there is some the challenges that it's in a webcast mode, we are not able to do to and fro with the thoughts. And but this is I would like the Sambit sir to think upon that, how practically we can introduce this topic more and make more useful for our professional fraternity as well. So what I did there is, I gave them the problem was how you can improve your own journey, right? How they are feeling right now and how you could improve. Now, this was a problem which they were about to solve within a group. So now think from that. It could be a problem, or you can pick your problem and just I'll just take you through to the journey of how this theory look like, so that you can it gives you a pathway, a direction to or key to use this topic more efficiently. So first start thinking about the problem. What the problem is. Well, first you need to empathize with the people, right? So you need to think from the context of the users which you are thinking. Now the question would come, why I should be thinking from the user point of view? Because the problem you are trying to solve may not be yours, or it could be rarely yours, right? So if you are not a person who actually have that problem, you will not be knowing all the nuances of that. You will not be understanding what exactly the pain of the people are. So you need to understand, you need to empathize with the people So what you would be looking for when you are doing this exercise? So first step is you are given with a problem or a rough sketch of a problem or a thought, and then you need to connect with the people who are actually the main the source, the users, the outcome, or the people who are getting impacted in that particular environment, right? So what you should be looking for, first thing you should be looking when you are connecting with the people is the way they think, the way they think about that problem, or the way they think about, say, your, so yeah, the problem is a product or your problem could be a services like us. Think how the users think about that problem, why they think, what is their physical need or the emotional need from, say, if you're doing the product, then what is the physical and emotional need from that, how they think, how they associate that product with the world, their normal life, and how meaningful is them to them. Now I have broken it into the three portion that you need to the exercise of the empathy, how you should do it. I'm maybe going a bit fast because I need to cover a lot of stuff, but I would make a point that everyone, it's a simple for everyone, and everyone gets some direction before the end of the session, that how exactly you could start working on that. So I'm trying to bit more on in bit of detail with the process, with more of the questions, but I will be running bit quickly on that. So how to empathize? It's very simple. You start observing your people. Like now in observation, what you need to do, that you need to view your user, their behavior in context, how that product is playing the role in their day-to-day life. Look for the workaround solution which they might have created. If they are using a product, and if could there are workaround solution. Now I would like to give an example on here that how the empathy really worked. So there was a uh,
आपलं आपण कमी दिलंय म्हणजे म्हणतो ना बघ बरोबर आहे का आणखी नाव तसं बघायला
okay, so there was a live example where there is a glue which previously when you used to have a tire with the tubes. So that company who prepares the glue, where we used to stick that glue on the tire when there were used to be a puncture. So that company was, they were knowing that they are very good. The glue, the stickiness is far better than the other product, but they are not able to make a sale in the market. They are not able to penetrate in the market. Now this was a problem statement which their CEO was discussing with the people. Now they said that, okay, I want to understand what is making this difference, why we are, I know, or we all know that our product is far better, we are putting a lot of effort, but still we are not making a lot of sales on that. Now what they did, they sent their staffs, they prepared a team. So they prepared a 3 people team. There were several team who went to the market, and all the 3 people team were some of the admin, some of the production, some of the marketing people, all the three together. Different teams they sent across to the market where they were targeting. So they went to all the puncture shops. They observed everything. They did their job. They empathized with the people. They asked, they visualized, and they came back to the company and said that yes, we say that our product is very good, we actually observed, but the problem is the people are not able to use because it is getting stick to their fingers. It is the stickiness such so much that when they apply using their finger, it gets stuck to the finger and it is very hard to remove that. So the people are not very eager to use our product. There was another one who has observed more efficiently. He said that I went and interviewed a people, one person who was using our product and was using our product only. Now that was something different from the all the observation. Now the company CEO asked what was different there. He said it was a normal scenario. He was using a wooden stick. He used to take out the stuff out, apply on a rubber, stick on a tube, and then his hands were not getting dirty. Just because you knew this product is better, he was using very less and it used to get his work done. Now, what that particular I've given the particular example because this example explains when you understand and go around the in a market and understand what the workaround solution the people have created, it could help your designer to build your product better. Now, what company did? They started selling their product with this wooden stick, and which increased their sales. And this is why the empathy is very important, how you should engage with the people, right? So first will observe, then we will engage with the people. So do not go for the interview, do not interview your people, just go and have a conversation. Let them speak what they feel in their normal natural way, so that more and more connected emotions would come and you will understand the problems and pain better. Keep the conversation very loosely bounded when you are sitting with the people, understanding their concern, understanding their problems, and then ask the stories. They ask them to tell the story, tell them their experiences, how they are having the with your product, what are the issue you have, and then just stop it and keep watching, keep listening to the other people as well. It will give you a lot of inputs and it will give you a lot of stuff which you can collate and take this to the next phase of a human design process, which is nothing but definition. I'll just conclude the empathy thing now with the empathy mapping. How you should be, mapping that is keeping user at the center. Understand what the user is saying, understand what user is thinking, understand what user is doing, and understand how the user is feeling, right? And then you create everything and align with your goal. I have got some of the questions which you could be asking when you are going for the conversation process, like activities. What happens, what the people are doing, what is their task, what activity they are carrying out, what happens before using it, after using it, or whatever, end and before. It will give you the complete story. It will give you the understanding how and what the people think, how their life is getting impacted just because of this, how they are dealing with the problem, what exactly their problems are, and so many parameters you are going to get in this empathy process. Like, so you can go through that, how the environment look like, if you're doing the interaction, how the user interact within one another, what are the object and devices they are using, what are the users, who are the users basically. So, or you can also understand when you go deeper in the market for this empathy process. Okay, these are the ultimate users. So this is from, but most of the situation you may find that we have not actually understood the need of the people. That's why we are not excelling in the market. So this is where what the empathy look like, empathy mapping. And now let's get to the define mode or the definition mode. Now, what I would suggest is what the definition mode is all about is this process brings out the clarity and gives you a very focused space that whatever the collation you have done in the previous empathy state, you are coming, putting on a table, just trying to segregate, understand the story, rebuild the story. Now, when you rebuild it, you can come up with a different problem itself. Okay. What initial problem you started with, say for the example of that sticky glue company is, the sale were coming down, right? Now they know the product was not good, so product was good, but the sale was not in correspondence with that. What they found when they went, they found that the people are having a problem in applying that, so that's why they are not using it. So they define the problem is, we are our stickiness is good, that's nice, perfect, but there's a problem with the application and that's why they are not able to sell. Now the problem statement differed. We should come up, our product is marketable but not usable. This was a problem statement, right? Now, do you know, do you just saw that what was the shift? The shift was from the sales to the different problem statement. And when you define actually the problem statement, the solution is bit faster. So the first two important stage of the process of design thinking is have a better, spend a lot of time and better understanding of people in the empathy stage, segregate every observation, collate it again. Now let's go faster. That the goal of the definition mode is to craft a meaningful and actionable problem statement. कुछ problem यहाँ solution नहीं ढूंढना है. We are not supposed to find a solution here. We just want to clarify on a problem statement in this stage what my problem actually is. So we are just creating a point of view here. Now, why we need to define? So we need to define because we need to frame a point of view. What basically my user want, what is their need, the more insight, the problems, and everything else, so that I can come up with my problem statement. So what we do is while creating a story, we are narrowing down, summarizing our observation. When you go on summarizing your observation, you will find that you are ending with a fewer of the observation and the combined one. And then means summarizing means you need to synthesize your empathy findings. What the findings you have received, what your finding you have generated when you did the empathy exercise. This will lead you to that problem definition, right? And then when you synthesize everything, you just test, you actually discuss whether this is a problem or there could be a different understanding or perspective of this problem. So this is where you, this is a stage where you could use your time to define the problem. Now the question comes, how you should be defining the problem. So notice what stand out. Review your empathy work by what the work you have done by the other interviewing, observation, or shadowing. Highlight the surprising behavior, highlight the emotions, highlight the frustrations. So what I have done, I have quickly picked one example here is that several parents were complaining, who all like all of us who are into job or doing practice, they were saying that we are not spending our time enough with our kids or the parents, and then they are feeling a bit guilty. And this is the emotional need which you found out when you were doing something, your empathy exercise. So this is the example of one travel company which did some exercise with the set of a person who were into the job, who were not getting uh, or who were into 9 to 5 job, 9 to 10 or 10 to 8 jobs. So they did some empathy work, how to increase their sales, what exactly the problem are. So first they did this the empathy exercise, and then I'm taking that example of how they built on the problem statement. Now they have identified the problem. So identification the patterns is cluster the similar observation. How many people are saying this? They are feeling guilty. How many if are saying that okay, I'm not getting enough time for spending with my problem with my kids. Some say with my parents, some say with my wife, some say with my relatives or whatever. Then you come with a pattern. People are not able to spend time. This is the pattern which they are finding. Now the time is scarcity and the guilt has emerged. Now this is the pattern from all of the statement, right? And then ask people, dig deeper into the reasons why people are feeling that way. What behavior they are uh, uh, actually is leading, what the factors is leading to this behavior. Connect the individual story to get a larger contextual factors, like why people are getting having a guilt, like that they are not able to spend time with the family and the people because there's a culture there, because there is the emphasis you need to have the quality time with your family, but the work schedule conflicts, you cannot have. But the societal factor says that you should have, the cultural factor says that you should spend quality time. Everyone might be having this thought in their mind, okay, I'm not able to spend that quality time. Understand from where this is coming. Someone is cooking at the behind our mind process, thought process, and making you to go to take holidays. Now define your users. So what users you are defining? Okay, this is a group of users. They are into corporates. They are into practice. They are something into 9 to 5 jobs. They are into government jobs, and then they have got these type of patterns of holidays. Maybe not specific, maybe generic. So working parents then they analyze the working parents in the urban areas juggles more with jobs and family because their distance is more, but the rural family, the parents are not having this much level of issues, right? So this understand, they are defining, they are segregating their user from where they started with a bigger problem. The people are having a problems, difficulty in understanding or spending time with their kids or the parents. They identified the factors. Okay, there is a time scarcity, there is a guilt. Now why there was a guilt? Because there's a cultural impact. Now who are the users? So they segregated the user. They observed the pattern that the urban users, the urban area people who they interviewed or the observed, were more or into this, their impact is more as against the ruler people. Now they identify the needs, what they want, what my people want. So they express needs as verbs, what the user should do. So they narrow out down their needs. Now what they narrowed down, they need to find out the ways to spend a meaningful time with their children or the parents despite their busy schedule. This is where they should be working on, that how they should solve this problem, how they should solve this. And then they extract the insights that the parents equate the quality time with the long duration holidays, not the small intentional moments, where we can say capitalize this. Now this generated a different theme of a product. The call it now, what the company did, they used this quality time as a tagline, they use this emotion as a product baseline, and then they went to the market. So so I think it, this definition process basically helped you understood with a practical example that how this is going, this would work and how this actually solved. Now the point of view is statement, I just want to conclude further that how this point of view statement actually helped. So they came with a final answer that working parents needs to create meaningful way to enjoy the family moments, because they believe only long period count as a quality time, which prevent them from the valuing shorter interaction. So good point of view statement could be provide focus, frame a problem statement, inspire your team, informs the criteria. Now this is a criteria, this is the statement, think on this, work on this pattern. Now why this point of view statement leads to, it leads to the another process of human design, which is nothing but the ideation. Now the problem framing, when you do this, is the exercise which you could do at your end, that we where you can use 5W and 1H, that what is my problem, what would we like to do, or we like to know, what are the assumptions, who is involved, why is the problem, where does the problem occur, when did the problem begin, right? How could this problem be an opportunity for us? Now the problem of not spending a quality time is an opportunity for any travel agency, any travel firm, any entertainment firm also, this could be. So it is just a problem statement can come up with any of the probable business solutions or the business product or any ideas, right? Okay, so the next process we first concentrated on creating the empathy. Then the result of the empathy, the collection which we did, we prepared a problem statement in the definition phase. Now we are ideating. Now ideating means we had started thinking for a actual solution. So again, it's not a very hard and fast area or particular thing, is that you should come in the very first instance with the right area. No one comes with the right idea. Even if you know that Xerox machine company were first used to produce photographic frames or the papers, and then they went into the creating a photograph manufacturing photographic machines only, right? uh, Apple was first used to sell affordable computer accessories, and now think we know they mostly sell the unaffordable mobiles. I'll not say unaffordable. Most of the people are using Apple mobile. Okay, so this is where I'm just trying to every uh, today's attendee wants to. I want everyone to concentrate. Is it's not hard and fast that it should like the CA attempt that you should become clearing in the first attempt. It Everyone knows that if the you cannot come with the right idea on the very first thing, it could happen, it may not happen. Most of the time it doesn't happen, because any idea first could be a source, it could give a direction, but it cannot be a best model which you can come up with. It could always be a prototype one. So do not fear from ideation, because that idea can come up. Because say if you just think the wired phone when you used to have, if at that era if any would have thought, I don't want wires, I want anything which just I can carry. Then there was a development, there was a dial phone, then the wire went off, there was a cordless phone, then we went to the mobile, we went to the pagers, mobile, big mobiles to the Nokia ones, and then we are having this all the latest ones, whatever. Again, we are increasing in size of the mobiles. So this is how the ideation process is all about, right? So it helps you to mentally focus, going wide in terms of the concept, what the concept basically is, and what the outcome could be. Now, why you need to ideate? Because it bridges your problems to their probable solutions. So it helps you defining the user needs to imagine the possibilities. If a user want this, what could be the best possible items which I can be giving? It help you to quantify over quality. So generate as much idea as possible. Do not filter it. Work on every idea before you give a nod either to go or do not go. Do not kill an idea in the ideation phase only. Work on that. I would say that there was some research done which says that do you know where most of idea dies? The most of idea dies in the boardroom, where we as a finance people go and ask for what is ROI for any ideas. See, the idea is in very germinating stage. Most of the people who, or we would say, what is a BEP? How one can know what's the BEP or ROI when they are just on a first instance giving the idea? So it is our responsibility also to give a judgment-free judgment to back everything up, because idea when you reject, it should be a speaking order, like what the code does. It should have some observation, some effort before the rejecting idea, because these idea can help you generate a good idea, like the IBM way. So ideate whatever the way, how much you want to, default on the keeping a judgment. Don't tag think that this is not good, this is not bad, it's how, because something from the other could help you generate a better idea. Stay connected with the user. You keep your user in your framework, in your ideation framework when you are defining. Document it and explore further. Now, how to ideate quickly is first blend the rationality, your ideation, your process, when whatever you are building, whatever you are thinking, it should be rational, it should be uh, though it should be imaginative, but it should not be too irrational. So that's why the word is rationality and imaginative. So a team designing a water bottle, consider the hydration and science. Have you latest seen the bottle of cap of Bisleri? They have changed the cap, and it was quite utter to the surprise. The research paper which they presented on the design. So there, what they have removed is now the capping of the bottle, Bisleri bottle, the small ones for 200 ml. They have created a separate, different cap of plastic, and saying that by doing this, they have saved 20 million of the value of plastic in a year. See how much difference they have, or almost the impact they have generated on this. So when you ideate with a group, you take an idea from too many people. So you create a synergy, you create a group synergy, and you can take and help of leveraging for that. And See if you're finance, someone from the production, some from marketing, someone from the legal department, anyone can make an impact. Or say if you're designing a product which may not be legal in any country, think what would happen once you prepare and give it to the market. So you should involve everyone, the team which works with your country for this ideation process. I've also given the examples for all the thing, that how it helps. uh, Introduce all the constraints, what the user feel, what you feel, and how you can get inspired by that, how you can get inspired from the problem, that how you could deliver a better one. Like design a chair only with a cupboard sleeve folder, like a manufacturing. See how the modular furniture concept came. It just came out the inspiration, right? Okay, it's very difficult for the user to create all these stuffs. Can we do it differently? So that's why this modular ready to use the small furniture idea came. And then you prototype your ideation, and then you build your story further, you ideate it further, you explore the diverse technique what you can be using while doing so. If you know that there are 64 different type of ideation that one could use while doing this ideation process, the methods. I'll just take a couple of them in the next slides. How you can, which method can you can out of any method you can use it which suits your purpose, and then you should defer your judgment. Just generate your idea, feel freely, evaluate them before you are making, or tagging something that this is not working. This is what my humble request for everyone who is into process of ideation. So ideation technique, this is some of that tabular table I have just trying to present, which is which is giving you the details about the technique, that how you can ideate. You can use the brainstorming. It's a free floor group of ideas generation without judgment to encourage creativity. We do it right when we want to discuss something like, okay, this is I2C. Whether I can take this ITC. This is a builder case. What happens? All this stuff we do connect with our colleagues. We do connect in the office. We do connect with our friends. We do connect with our seniors to brainstorm on a particular topic. Similar, it's just similar brainstorming. Mind mapping is a visual diagram connecting ideas around the central theme to explore the relationship. What this has with another. If we can give this product, what if we can give this product also? Whether this creates a value, more authentic product. This could be a mind mapping for technique. Scamper is a technique that modifies the existing ideas using prompts, substitute, combine, adapt, modify, and put to another use, eliminate, or reverse something. The scamper technique has been already been used. I'll just always give the example for the bicycles. So there was a bicycle. There's a bicycle, right? Someone removed the chain, then they've started using the hydropower. No chain, only two wheels moves with the hydro power. You just need to paddle it. No chain, all the wheels moves. So this is something which is coming new in the market. So the existing product, you make some difference, and then something new is developed. Like the gym cycle which you do. What is this? This idea come from where? You cannot do the cycling. You cannot have that bigger machine. Remove the wheels. You can use in your home. Just cycle it out. It will help you. It will help you lose your weight, lose your fats. So worst possible idea is the very unconventional method which is used. That what could be the worst idea you could have, and that also has inspired so many people. Storyboarding in another view is a visual sequence of the sketches or the frames to map our uh, user journey or the concept. Round robin technique, it's a that each participants contribute an idea, in turns ensure the equal participation, right? um, and ensuring like what every valuing what every people think. Rapid ideation is time box sessions where the participants quickly jot down as many as ideas as possible, provocation. Introduce provocation or the illogical statement to challenge the people, because this is actually is going to test your ideas. Then affinity diagramming, it's a group and cluster ideas into the themes to identify the patterns. So there are many. These are the few ideation technique which I just try to cover it for you all. Uh, then we'll quickly go to the prototyping. So we have covered empathy, we have covered definition, problem statement, we have developed our idea. Now it's a time to give a life to that idea, right? Now, what this prototype means, this is build to think, test to learn. बनाएंगे तो बनाते बनाते सोचेंगे, और टेस्ट करते करते सीख भी जाएंगे whether this is working or it is not working. So it's a iterative generation of the artifacts intended to answer question that gets you closer to your final solution. A prototype can be anything, like whatever your idea. Say you're developing some gadget, you can draw on a piece of a paper on the very first thing. That could be also a prototype. What my thing could look like, right? If you're generating something, some car, how it comes? It first come on AutoCAD. No one comes with a design, it comes with the AutoCAD. So this is what the prototyping could be. So why you want to do prototype? It's to ideate, solve your problem, that it helps you communicate better, that I want to design this way, right? And then it, when you prototype, it allows you to actually visualize your thing perfectly, so that it, you can also understand whether it will work or it may not work, whether it will be cheap or it will be too complicated to produce. And it helps you to manage your solution building also. So this is why you should be prototyping. Now how to do prototyping is directly start building. Understand no idea in the first instance is the perfect idea. You just need to begin. That's the important stuff. That's a very important aspect. You need to begin. You need to start working on your ideas. Use all the simple material, post tapes, whatever you want to, and then create it. Now, like again, at this examples, if you want to prepare any app, you can just draw that app, how it should be look like, how its launching screen should be, how your user GUI could be, anything you can just draw. Develop a prototype. You can just design the flow chart, how that application could be working, and it will help you a lot. Do not get attached. This is what it's always been said, that if you give one idea and if you think this idea is going to work, do not get attached, but because that idea may not work the moment you create a prototype. So just give a very transparent view uh, to all the ideas, to all the stuffs which you are doing. Create with a thought that you would be required to create another version of it. So do not be shy, do not feel low that okay, I put in hard effort, my didn't work. Because if everybody would think this way, no one can generate a good or a better view or better version of this what we have. So identify a variable, that what is actually impacting your prototype, what I'm trying to learn, from where I'm going to basically source my learnings from. Stay open to from all the insights what we are, whenever you are testing, whatever the example you are getting. So just work on that. Build the user, whatever the things you are building. Again, everywhere, see, in the empathy stage also, there was user. We connected with the user, we tried to find out their pains. In the definition step, we defined the problem of the user. In ideation, we tried to think upon a solution for the user. So similarly, here also user should be kept in mind, whether it would be appropriate with the for the user. So whatever the answers we have, we should always think how the user would react to it, what the user would expect from it, whether it will be no useful for them. So what's a quick takeaway from the prototyping stuff is, start scrappy. It's not could be very neat and fine from where you start. Stay flexible. Do not get stuck to an idea. Test one variable at a time. It will give you the selection process, whether it is working for you or whether it is not working for you. The goal of this prototype is not creating perfection, it's a learning fast, cheaply, and meaningfully. I just want to spend every request, every viewer to just spend few moments with this line. That the goal of a prototype is just creating a prototype, not a live model, right? Because our goal here is not to create a perfect answer, it's just to create something where we can rely on. Now, the last step with the prototyping principle is, again, it's very good diagram which I just found, is that what human wants, how technically we can build, and it needs to be economic feasible also. So this is what our principle we should be thinking on to get the answers or to build a prototype. Now the last stage is the test stage, where we are testing the opportunity, or we are actually taking one more opportunity to get into the vicious circle of design thinking. That we say that testing is an opportunity to learn about the solution and your user. What we do in testing phase, you send that solution to the user, again go sit with them, empathize, look, repeat the same process. And that's why we say the design thinking is a very iterative process, where we first empathize, understand the need, define the problem, ideate the solution, build a prototype, send it back to the user, again empathize, again define the things, again ideate, again build a prototype, and then during the iterative process, we just come with the perfect solution. Again, perfect could be a very idealistic word, but yeah, solution could be a good and more pragmatic word to be used here. So testing is another opportunity. Basically, to understand your user, because whenever you are giving your solution to the user, you are saying that this is what best possible we have right now. Can you use, can you give us some more insights so that we can work on further? So why to test? Because it refines your prototype and your solution. It helps you to learn more about your user, it and the use of your product. It helps you refine, I think, we prepared point of view in a definition stage, so refine your PO point of view. And then quickly, how you can test. Don't just you just don't tell, you just show to the people what your product is, right? So handing up any paperwork mock-up, any design to them, this is what we feel. Can you just have a look and make us understand how it makes sense to you or not? Observe their behavior whenever you're giving some solutions to them. Listen them actively. Again, do you think that this is something more related to the empathy phase which we are connecting? Yes, because this is one of the repetitive vicious process is there. But here we have some solution. The first empathy stage, we were not having a solution. We are just trying to connect with the pain points. Now, this help us to create the experiences, and then you ask the user to compare. Say in the next iterative process, how you were doing first, how your experience it with this, how is your experience with the next uh, the test prototype was, something like to understand the to understand the experiences, to understand the users UX from their own from the horse's mouth basically. Now so the principle is just do it, don't say it, just don't show it, just say it, just show to the people what exactly you are wanted intending to do, create the experiences for the people. So this is how was the process of how to test. Now this is the diagram which explains the process of testing, that we prepare a prototype with some assumptions, then we do the experiment, we again prepare the prototype using assumption, and then the back and forth iterative process. This marks to the end of our theory. I hope I could complete this theory before we are getting into the examples. So I would first take the example of Uber Eats. So we all know what Uber Eats is. So I don't want to get into the detail. how the Uber Eats is. I just want to get take you all into the practical example of how they implemented the design thinking. So this is quite exciting now. And I've just tried to compile all the bigger research paper into fewer points, so understandable points, so that you can reach and get to the point quickly. So I would like first to take you through to their initial statements, how they have refined the problems, and what were their uh, impact universe. So Uber Eats says that smartphones have been around the world for a decade, but the people have been preparing and selling food for millenniums. On Uber Eats, we get to combine a brand new technology with a very old, very fundamental, and very universal activity of eating and enjoying the cuisine. To understand the broad level of no business problem. Now, Uber Eats wants to sell, creates eating experiences, makes you to enjoy the local cuisine, but they are combining this human behavior with the latest use of the technology. So this is what the first phase of their issues is. Now they are saying that we have got three major impactful people. So the first one is they have got a global scale. They don't have only one market, they are into the 80 cities, each with distinct food, culture, infrastructure, logistics, everything is different. Now they have got a diverse customers. Now what they have done it very beautifully here is they have divided their customers. So what we say in a normal thing, the person to whom we are selling is our customer, to whom we are giving a services are our customer. Now Uber Eats have defined they have got three customers. So what are the three customers? First, the first customer is their delivery partner. The second customer is a restaurant owner and the workers. The third is their own customer who wants to have enjoy the reliable meals. Now again, what they did the similar exercise. They started with creating a empathy experiences. So what they did, they again prepared a team. They sent 80 team to the 80 different location. They funded them like anything. Go to a particular city, eat, and just eat. Just go on eating, right? Go on taking experiences. They did all those people created the experience or they took experience for 2 months. What they did, they asked every team came to come back present. Now every team presented their aspect to the company what they have experienced. Now they realized that yes, with this different customers, they have got a different challenges that each city is having a distinct food type, distinct logistics, distinct infrastructure. So we need to have a distinct plan for all of the cities. We cannot come with a single plan. So, but what that they did basically, they created a theme. So they came up with a walkabout programs. Their foundation, they that is the immersion activity which we talked. They created. Now, what the people actually did the experiment about is they learned about the city's food culture. They studied their transportation, logistic infrastructure. They interviewed all the delivery partners, in restaurant workers, and the consumer, understood their pains. They and eat. Upon their returns, they shared their learnings. Now, how they used this? So, first phase was empathy. So, Uber Eats designer immersed themselves in the real world problems, environment of the user. So, they created a walkabout program. So, different designers regularly visits the different city to study the local food culture. So, then they did the shadowing. Another activity. Order shadowing means designer follow the delivery partner. When they took the order, they follow the delivery partners. They visits the busy restaurants in their busy rush hours or any different hours. Then they sit with the customer also, sat with the customer and they ordered along with the customers. They also experience that particular phase also. So understand the effort they took to understand the to give justice to this empathy process. They had a fireside chat with the people. They talked with the people. The person delivery people. What they did, they said that the map which you are showing, most of the time the customer put a wrong address, then the delivery times they get delayed. Most of the people they want that order to be delivered in 20 minutes, but the order which they are placing, that restaurant people takes at least 40 minutes to cook that. How we can deliver in 20 minutes? See, understand the minute pain points of when the people created in the empathy phase. Now next point is the delivery people. When they comes in the rainy season, it makes very difficult to them to go and deliver in time. Another issue, customers. You say we are hungry. How much time we should wait? More than 30 minutes? Not required. Not idle. Another pain point. Restaurant worker, when they are into the owner's shoes, go into the owner's shoes. What are their problems? If they understood each and every problem, okay, that they went and they identified their pain points. Observation revealed the problem statement like difficulty the drivers to find the parking in the urban area, where they would park, where they would go. The restaurant are so full, they don't even get a parking to park their vehicle and get into the restaurant to pick the orders. The problem statements, then it was these statements are turned into the clear problem statement that how might we speed up the order fulfillment process during the rush and during the dinner hour. This is the definition they have. Then they did the ideation. So did they and they their design team, the representative from the other disciplinary disciplines on the processes, they worked together and create ideas. They did the innovative workshops. The structured brainstorming session were conducted to generate a wide range of the ideas. What could be? They actually created a virtual restaurant, virtual rooms, virtual delivery people, and then they ideated. Then they coined a concept of 30 minutes delivery, right? They have got a prototype. They prepared a prototype that they termed as a wireframe and mockups. So the designer built a prototype of new app feature, design layout, how could the map would be better visible, how one can pin their location, the users, all sort of things. And it really worked for Uber Eats, and that it helps their operations. So see how they have done a collaboration, how great efforts they have put in to the system to improve their performance, to understand their customer and they and the impact they have done or they have made in their life of the customers now. And the best part was they are also treating the restaurant owner as a customer, because restaurant if restaurant owner will not be there, from where they would be getting their foods if delivery partners are not there. So these are the key person who they have identified as their customers. So you need to satisfy all these three people to have a better supply chain, to have your better user experiences. So I hope this process might have given the steered uh, the theory, now giving much better direction to the process. Let's go and use and relax our brain using these maps. Can you let me know what this look like to you? You can put in the chat if it is allowed to you. What this look like to you? Okay, so it is nothing but this is a CT scan machine. But why this way? So this is the example of GE Healthcare, where they had a problem and they identify a problem that uh, from a hospital pediatric department, that most of the kids, or I would say that 90% of the kids required sedation before getting into the scan machine, because they are getting afraid, they are having the issue of getting into the scan machine. They are not stable. The scan reports are not coming right. Hospitals are taking a lot of time for doing their scans, and to reduce this, they are using sedation, which is not working well for kids. Right now, this was a problem statement for GE because their product was not getting sold. Now, what they did, so the problem came from a experience that a little girl was crying in fear before her scan in the cold Sterlite MRI room. And there we realized that 80% of the pediatric patient has to be sedated because they were too scared to lie down still. And then they observed the children that uh, so to lie down still. So what happened? Now what G people did? So they sent their team to the daycare. How the children acts, how the children behave. The team went and understood that they used how they play. So they use the imagination while they're playing, and this was the important point which they pick. Then they went and understood. They did some interviews, some conversation with the parents, like and the doctors, that how the child behaves, what are their need. So what they did, they emphasized with the people, the kids. Then they defined the problem. The core problem was redefined from a technical challenge to a experience creating challenge. Now that they are saying that our product cannot be changed. Our product cannot be changed because this should be as it is. Like the sticky glue sticky example. Understand, this is very crucial. The product is not having a problem. The experience which is getting created is a problem. My glue is getting stick so hard that it is very hard to remove from my finger, so I'm not able to use. The MRI machine, the scan machine is making so much of the noise that I'm getting scared. Now that is the problem. So they defined the experience problem different problem statement only different. They defined the problem is not with the machine. The experience with the machine is different. That problem is. So they took the statement as create a new experience. How might we make our MRI experience more positive, engaging, non-threatening to the pediatric patients, that's kids, so that they don't need sedation? Wonderful statement. Wonderful statement problem definition, which G did. And then they created a cross-functional team, how they can do it. So idea was they focus on using imagination. They use the ideation as a storytelling to distract the children and get engaged to the story. And then process remains the same. The doctor were dressed as a pirates, right? Without the stethoscopes and something different. Now what they created a prototype where the whole MRI area was just being treated as a pirate ship. The another design was used as a jungle theme, would be just lion and everything else. The another design was a cozy camp where the kids can go. Now what they did, they develop a script. They develop a script for operation. Once the child gets into the MRI room, they used to play the script, the loud voice that you are in a jungle, you are in a pirate ship. Now then it has started creating a imaginative world. Then they need to lie down to into that bed of MRI, gets into the tunnel of the pirate ship, all sort of stories. And the machine noise that used to create, that noise was also included embedded in the story to create a thunder, to create a different experience for the people, for the kids. See how creative it is, how creative it is to solve a problem. Now they tested. When they tested, they found that out of 80% people who used to get a sedation earlier, only they required now only 2% kids now require sedation. Quite a wonderful achievement if one post the implementation. The patient satisfaction increased by 90%. Hospital efficiency increased. Now they were able to do their job more quickly, more efficiently than before, because they don't require sedation. The patient is still, they are enjoying, they're completing their stuff in 40 minutes. They're not taking more than 40 minutes. Now what one good example was out of the testing experience, that one boy asked his mother, "Can I come back again tomorrow to take the same experience?" See how good it was. So how good they really connected with the people, and the this is a journey which they created. A best example for GE, what they did. I just quickly to go through the case study of Bank of America, and then we can just come back for any question answers if we have. Now, Bank of America, how what they did, they were having a challenge of creating a good customer base. The customer base addition slowed down, and the more and more the people they wanted more and more accounts to be created. So what they did, they came up with the initiative Keep the Change, a great initiative of Bank America. What they did and what how they have experienced. So the problem statement which they have, how they could encourage a new customer to open a bank account, right? So they conduct a ethnographic research, and the team and a team of 5 Bank of America employees partnered if with the designer agency. See the collaboration, and the user research they did on the customers. They interviewed, they observed a lot of customers, a family in Atlanta, Baltimore, and San Francisco, and the team was talking to the people who were great at saving and the people who struggled with the savings, and then talking with those people, they took inspiration from the existing people, the habits of around the savings, how the people are doing. Soon they realized, again, see, they empathize with the people. They did the realization into the definition problem. Whatever the observation you're collecting, you need to analyze, you need to realize, you need to experiment with this, factor in with the process in the definition phase, what it is telling to you, where your problem, how your problem statement could look like, right? So they identified that in many family, the mother were in charge of their finances. The people, the extreme group of the people, they found where the mother used to spend a lot, often tight on the budget, and they were not able to save because they are spending a lot of money, right? What they did, so the chairman of Bank of America, they coupled up with their product manager, the finance experts, and the software developer, and then they held 20 session against this ideation and a prototype. They created a 80 product concepts. They created prototype of the products, but they favored this idea, keep the change. Now, what this particular uh, uh, idea is all about. So this idea was, whenever you are buying anything through your card, say you are buying for 4 pounds 80 cents. So what they used to do, they used to deduct £5 or $5 from your account, and they used to transfer that point 20 cents to your saving account, and they used to add another 20 cents from the Bank of America, right, to your account. Hereby your saving increase. So they attached the savings from your expenditure, from your expend. Very new concept, very ideal, which they exploited, actually exploited. So what they did, the product was Keep the Change. So Keep the Change service turned out to be a huge success for Bank of America. After its launch in 2005, they attracted 2 million customer, and to the utter surprise, 99% of the customer who was added during this scheme are still with them. Quite a big achievement. So this was the story of Bank of America, Keep Change. Another, the Netflix also, they have got a similar story. I'll just quickly move that you know that how what the Netflix used to do before. I think we must already know all the stuff. Now Netflix used to create. There used to be a video repository where you can go and just rent a video type of thing, and then they are into such a big step. So I already defined all the studies what the Netflix did from their perspective, that they have empathized first what my people want, what my members trying to accomplish, rather than what the feature they are providing. Again, see the IBM way, IBM approach, user centric approach. Then they transform their problem. The goal of the definition which was to synthesize the people's idea thoughts into the definition. So what they defined is, uh, how might we help the busy parents find appropriate children content quickly on a tablet and interface. So they develop a kids section. When you go and log into the in Netflix, they give you different section. Who is watching? You can create your profile, and the profile gets monitored, they filtered the way you check or click the age profile in that, or you create your profile based on your age. So this is how they have ideated, right? So they created they ideated is about the process of freedom and responsibility based on the cultures. So the employees empowered, and yes, they created a pool of idea through the employees. Because understand, when we started with our thought today, we said that why we want definition, because most of the problems are not ours. But understand here, the users, we are also a user of Netflix. Each and every employer of Netflix is a user of in Netflix, and that's why they were also taken into the consideration for the ideation and the problem definition also, right? So what the test result actually rolled out was, so they created a lots of features. They have started creating, they're using the algorithms, started sending what based on your test preferences, they are aligning all the videos and everything. So basically they are creating a very good user experiences based on the rich content they have. They are not saying that this is what we are into the best version. They are gradually improving. So this was Netflix for us. uh, uh, right? This was something, the outcome. That skip button intro, which we have, which we all like. Nobody likes to see the trailer now, but the trailer are part of the theme which they are create. I know this is the no something of via media option which they have done. I think the creator of the content should only remove this, so that skip button can would be a redundant in one day. So this was the Netflix way. We have got a Tesla way also. How Elon Musk has drive or drove Tesla the way they are. So the best example of the Tesla product is, you can get a update in software, and update of the software update in a car without even going to the the center or the garage. It gets auto updation. What we want is the auto updation, real world data classification, over the air update. Wow, the option of that Tesla. So what they actually created, they thought about the seamless experience about the car driving. So they don't first conceive the idea of driverless car. It was a two iterative process where they thought, yes, the way we are growing, the way we are thinking, we could one day create a driverless car. And then they defined the problem statement, why don't or why we can't, and they created it. So all this phase they have used is wisely, ideally, very creatively, to create the impact in the market. And they are constantly working on the design thinking principle. They are generating the ideas, they are improving themselves day in day out, right? So these are the quite examples of the case studies which we I just try to come up with. There are loads of the factors, there are loads of activity which can be created, loads of ideas which can be generated from this stuff, uh, and which can help our industry, which can help our people, us also, to be a better version of ourselves. I again thank you everyone. If you have got any questions, I'm open to it. Dipali ma'am, you are there?
Yes, yes, I'm there very much.
Yeah. So if anyone has any question, we can just go to the question answers. Else I'm done with the session.
Yes, yes, sure. Audience, any questions from your side?
I think what is more interesting with this topic is that this topic should be more interactive, so that we have got loads of ideas, loads of discussions, and it could be we can do a live seminar on how we can use these concepts in a wide world. So I would just like to share my experience on the effort which we did the last month. Is we created actually we made all our users who were there in a seminar define your problem the way I explained the chartered accountants into the real life, how they are doing their stuffs, what they are having a challenges. So I did just made them function. They perform the first two phases. Like you go and empathize with the colleagues which are sitting in a group. What are your problems? So they define the problems. Then what are your problem statements? What are your customers? The way the Uber it's defined, right? So they defined the universe. So they rightly defined that uh, uh, the customers are the articles which we have, the customer are staffs, client is their customer, and the more importantly, they define the family is also our customer. See what a great insight which we got from that thing is family is also our customer. What we are doing everything for our family. Now this is how this concept can be so wide that this could be applied anywhere in our personal life as well. So I would urge everyone to, if you can get hold of any exercise where we can do it on a live to live basis, any forum, any platform, please do it. Please experiment it. It gives you lots of variety, lots of version, lots of different ideas to come out quickly. Come out with a very separate, different, distinct ideas basically. So this was something which we tried to find out there. Like another important aspect was they defined the problems. What are their problem? Everyone sitting here knows our problem. Now they defined the structure that many of us who are into practice, they are practicing 7 day in a week. They are not having any of the leaves. Why? Because this is how the way they have created their way. Why we cannot adopt a corporate culture? 5 days working. Nobody has stopped us doing that. Now there was on the top. Why we are doing this? Because we are more attached to the clients. उनका टेंशन हमारा टेंशन है. No, client has not asked to do that, right? So client has not. They are not paying for you to taking tension. You are buying a blood pressure pill from your own hard-earned money. You are taking unnecessary pressure of the client's work. They have not given you data. Come think something different. Why we cannot come up with a culture? You cannot go and ask institute make a law where everyone should be saying the chartered accountants won't work for Saturday and Sunday. You can make a practice. Or they have suggested that the institute can come up with a law. We were not going to work on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, that's fine. Maybe institute can do that. But since we are in a competitive market, we also should understand. See, big fours are doing, but how big fours are working? They are working almost 18 hours. We are not maybe working 18 hours. We are working the way we want us to work. Yeah, this concept can actually do wonders. And my urge would be apply independently. I'll apply practically, but apply with collaboration. Uh, I would also like to give more insight, like what the institute is doing, like GCC and everything stuff, which Sandeep Bhai is doing a lot of in the nowadays. We have conducted 5 different global GCC seminars where thousands of chartered accountants are attending. What is this GCC? GCC is not something which is it's new. It's all were founded in 1885, started in Hyderabad. but now we are defining it differently. We are defining it differently as a avenue of a practice for a chartered accountant, where we can also come and explore. We can explore differently. We can create our own GCC. How we can do it? Yes, this design thinking also working there. Institute is using this. So use this principle. If you want, you can just share all the PPTs. If you have got any problem, I have my email and number is flashed on a is there in a PPT. My email ID is very simple: cakushalmishra@hotmail.com. If you want to connect with me, you can anytime. And that's it from my side. Any question, Dipali ma'am? They have no.
No questions so far, but I just want to add one thing that in your entire session, you have one thing very much clicked for me, that is user experience. You very well explained about user experience, and that is very important for us also as a chartered accountant. What value addition we give and what experience we give to our clients. So this is going to fit in my mind now because of you.
Ma'am, but problem क्या है? Problem we have is most of the practitioners, what are they are doing? We are not creating values. We are not creating value. We are doing compliance. For compliance, there is no value to our clients. First of all, understand. So the
Absolutely.
experience which we are creating for our people or our client is the day-to-day job. GST written है, भर देना है, right? No value created. So the user experience, what we are creating, we are actually not creating a user experience there. We should work on that. We should work on creating a user experience. Similarly, for the staffs and the articles which we have, creates how you are dealing with the situation. That is more important. How you are dealing with the client, how the client is going to is getting impacted, how we are but everyone says the work life balance. There's nothing like concept of work life balance. You need to balance it. No one can else can balance it for
I
you. So
definitely agree
this
with this.
so this is what is, you need to employ all this concept within yourself to be more effective, more efficient, and can create a value experience for the others. So this is what I believe, it's more important, because if you are not creating values, you will be obsolete after some time. And this is what I realized in COVID. So I have stopped my all the certification practice. I don't sign anymore. I have a certificate of practice, but I don't file, I don't come do any compliance practice. I don't file any returns except my. So this is what even I'm not urging that all the practicing chartered accountant should start doing this way, because everyone's way is different. You need to find your own way to for doing all this stuffs. And this I always say, this is what I think my way is. I like to be in more consulting view, because I realized that filing returns for some amount is not creating value for my customer, and I'm not able to create a better journey or a user experience for them, because this is a very fixed process. Again, you can comply with the GE experience. Yeah, ऐसे ही है. How you can be creative? I'm less creative in this field. I'm urging any people who could use this as a creative experience, that how you can create a greater experience for your customer, even though this is with the fixed process of filing income tax return or the compliance thing. I would urge, I would be happy to understand if anyone have those experiences. If you have, please let me know, even on an email or anywhere. You can just call me also. So that's it from my side. Thanks, Dipali ma'am. Thanks, Amit sir, for bearing me for, I think, 1 hour 40 minutes. Thank you.
It's not about bearing you. You really give very wonderful insights and very practical approach you followed in your entire session, and that's a key learning for us.
Yeah, because this is practical topic. When I think
Actually,
Aditya
actually.
approached me, I had got a lot of question for him. Whether this is a webcast, whether I would be able to interact, because truly speaking, I was not able to complete half of my slide when I took 3 hour session for one-to-one.
Mm-hmm.
Few of my live case studies still pending with them to discuss, because it's very important when you go and interact with the people, you get more and more insight. This is how they have
Absolutely.
created. What is your experiences? So that experience sharing is also a great important thing which we have. Yeah, that's it. So I always say that this should be a one-to-one. It should not be on a webcast. It should be a one-to-one activity. and where you can sit and explore better.
Absolutely. I do agree with this.
Okay. Thank you then. Thank you so much. That's it from my
So
side.
I just
Anything
want to
else
give vote
from
of
your side?
thanks.
Ah,
So it has been such an honor to be part of this wonderful webcast on thinking outside the box, tools for breakthrough ideas. Actually, when we consider when CA and MBA, they both are seen together. So where MBAs are more better in presentation skills, in sales skills, and CAs always take back end. But with when such sessions are attended, then we get to know exactly how our approach should be as a salesperson in our CA practice as well. So you threw a very good light on that thing. So thank you so much for that. And on behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICI, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, CA Kushal Mishra, for his enlightening session. A wide round of applaud and thanks to the organizer, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICI. Our today's speaker, CA Kushal Mishra, and other stakeholders made the webcast memorable one. And why this webcast became memorable one? Because of the practical tips which you gave, because of the practical case laws also which you conducted, examples which you gave. Because of that, it became very enriching actually. IC and our today's speaker, CA Kushal Mishra, and other stakeholders made the webcast memorable. And finally, we would like to thank all of you present here and helping us make this webcast a grand success. Thank you, one and all. And please, you can extend your thank you to the speaker in the chat box as well. Yes. Thank you so much once again.
and one more thing, we just you mentioned that when we are into practice, we are doing our role, every role. We are a manufacturer, we are the seller, we are a marketing person, we are the hiring people, we are playing every role. We need to understand this perfectly. I think this topic is really worth for everyone. Think on this, start exploring it. That's my closing remark. Thank you so much, Dipali ma'am, for hosting me.
Thank you once again.
So,
Thank you,
Mr.
everyone.
UPSCC. Thank you. Bye bye.